Hey, this video will be instruction and guidance on how to perform intra-abdominal pressure. If you come back to this video, you can skip the instruction and start with the practice. What you should know about intra-abdominal pressure is it is your real core's body, which means this is the essence of what stabilizes our body and connect the body together. Intra-abdominal pressure is a vacuum inside the body created with our breath from the pelvis floor muscles to the diaphragm to the most deep part of our abdomen, the transversus abdominis, and some additional muscles like the QLs and erector spine. We will focus on the main first three muscles: pelvis floor, diaphragm, and transversus abdominis. With those muscles, with the right perspective, we will create, generate, and maintain intra-abdominal pressure to stabilize our body. This type of breathing needs to be normal. Most people do not have it in their automatic breathing patterns. Therefore, they need to practice that until the point the body will adopt it as a go-to breathing pattern. I did it as well. This was the first most significant step to enhance my posture and overcome my issues and pain. So we will start by the inhalation. So let's inhale through the nose as deep but as slow with consciousness as possible. Inhale. Relax and exhale. You can exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale. While you're inhaling, start inhaling. I want you to focus that you're inhaling through a short nasal path. That means that you're not just inhaling so strong and so quick like no, you're trying to inhale as if you are inhaling through a straw through the nose. So it's like a sharp, narrow path that goes through the nose to the depth of the body. So imagine that when you inhale. And again, exhale, relax. Let's go deeper. We're gonna build this practice layer by layer. So you inhale through a nasal straw. Then you wanna imagine you inhaling to the back of your neck as if you're inhaling through the nose all the way to the back to the spine, and then you push the air through the spine as low and as down as possible. You will reach eventually a certain level inside the body, and from there you want to practice to breathe even deeper. Eventually the goal is to inhale through the back of the spine all the way to our coccyx, which is the tailbone. So we actually will breathe and we will feel the breath through our entire spine as we inhale. So again, inhale as slow with mindful control as possible through a straw in the nasal, back and down. Inhale. All the way as much as possible and relax, exhale. I know maybe most of you think you have to inhale to the belly to inflate the front of the body. I don't want you to do that. I specifically say inhale to the back. So I'm gonna sit like this. I'm gonna see the depth of my body. So I'm not inhaling to this part. I am imagining, whether it's true or not, but in the sense I'm feeling that I'm inhaling to the back and down. So my go-to inhalation is right here. I'm imagining I'm inhaling from the back to the lower part of my spine. And again, this could be your entire practice for days. Yeah, you will practice 5 minutes a day, 1 minute a day, 10 minutes a day, and you will do that until you will be able to inhale as deep, as back, as down as possibly humanly possible. So let's practice that for another minute or so, which is approximately 2, 3, 4 breaths, and continue to the exhale. Inhale. Pay attention that maybe in some part of your inhalation, you will feel that you are no longer inhaling, as I said, to the back and down. And because you cannot, from some reason, generate this, maybe your spine is crooked and you have to sit upright more, push the pelvis down and the feet and ground your feet in order to be upright. But whatever the reason, you feel like you are no longer inhaling to the back and down of your spine. That will be a good cue to either stop your inhalation, because from here it's a different practice, either slow it down even more, be mindful even more, connect to the body even in a deeper level to find out what is required of you to allow the body and give the body the conditions to inhale as back, as down, as deep as possible. So basically what I want your full awareness on the inhalation part, and then figure out with mindful investigation, mindful research, figure out what you should do, how you should move, where should your focus goes in order to give the body the optimal condition for this deep lower inhalation. Okay? So again, inhale to the back and down. And relax. This practice will strengthen your diaphragm. The diaphragm is a very big muscle, sits around the middle of your chest, and it is very important for our breathing and for intra-abdominal pressure. So when we inhale to the back and down, we are activating more parts with more mindful control, one of the most significant breathing muscles and core we have. All right. So shake it off and let's continue to the exhale. So if you have a lot of experience with breathing, you will do the exhale through the nose. So this will be the end goal. But I'm assuming you're pretty new to this kind of breathing practice. Therefore, it will be much easier to understand this exercise by exhaling through your mouth out. Right? So you're gonna inhale. For now, don't try to force the previous inhale. Just inhale as comfortable as possible. And then exhale through the mouth with control. So I don't want to see this. This is not control. This is just you exhaling like a deflated balloon. No, I want you again with this imaginary straw. You're exhaling through the straw. Yeah. So if you even have this kind of tool, this is the Mindful Breathe tool, which is actually a necklace. What you want to do is either imagine using this in order to exhale with control through a straw all the way out. So inhale as comfortable and exhale all the way out. And again, inhale and all the way out. And then when you exhale, I want you to pay attention to the end of the exhalation, of the controlled exhalation. What happened to your body? Before I say, I want you to pay attention for yourself. Try to find out what happens in the end of your exhale. And again, before I give the answer, let's answer another question. What is the end of the exhale? Who said that when you decided to stop exhaling, this is the real end of your out breath? Yeah? So the point is try to exhale even more. All right? And again, inhale. And then focus on the end controlled exhale. What happens in the end of your exhalation? I hope you paid attention, but your core, especially mine, but you can see it in the video, but I hope, and I'm 100% sure, your core is getting activated automatically. That means you're not consciously doing crunches, but you are exhaling all the way out, and then what happens? Your core gets tight around your spine and around your internals. So this is what I want us to pay attention. I want us to reach this end exhalation, this contraction, this intuitive contraction of what muscle? Our transversus abdominis muscle, the most deep muscle that surrounds our guts and actually sustain and contain the intra-abdominal pressure from the cylinder part of you. So inhale through the nose. Exhale with control through a straw. All the way out. Who said this is the end? Continue exhaling. What happens to the core? It gets engaged. I want you to connect to the sense of you are engaging this core. And again, inhale. And exhale. I'm gonna do a few more breaths of this. I want you really to feel how your core is getting tight, but pay attention not to flex yourself down. So you're sitting upright, your pelvic is grounded, your feet are grounded, you're holding the floor and the stool, and you inhale to the back and down, and you exhale all the way out. Who said this is the end? And then when you start feeling the core getting tight, do not fall down. Do not flex down. Keep your spine upright and let your core sink deeper to your body as if you are squeezing yourself. And then inhale. All right, now we have the depths of our breath. We have the most depth of the inhale and the most depth of the exhale. Now let's cultivate the pelvis floor muscles. We're gonna do that in the most simple, intuitive way. You can either feel it, you can either know it, you can either just believe me. But if you're gonna flex your toes on the ground, so you're gonna put some weight on the balls of your toes, which is the bases of your big toes. I'm gonna put some weight, not a lot, but just put some weight there, as if you're leaning on your toes. And then you're crunching, you're flexing, you're contracting your toes to the ground, will activate your pelvis floor muscles. It will be engaged. If you wanna go even further, you can put something between the knees and squeeze it. It could be a ball, it could be a heavy ball, it could be some rubber band, some pillow. You can squeeze it, and this will activate your adductors, which will also activate your pelvis floor muscles. For now, that will be enough. Don't hyper perform this activation. Don't hyper go to the pelvis muscles. Just let them be engaged while you're breathing. So if we want to go deeper to the rhythm, yes, we should be engaging and relaxing our pelvis floor muscles while we are breathing, but this is way deeper than this video is intended. Therefore, only engage your toes in the most simple way, which is lean on the bases of your toes and hold the ground. All right, just engage your toes. That will be enough. So we have the depth of the inhale and the depth of the exhale. Now we are going to the most interesting part of our intra-abdominal breathing patterns, which is the synergy between exhale and inhale. We want to cultivate the core, the automatic contraction of our core when we exhale to the depth of the inhale through the nose. So we wanna create a synchronized pattern of breathing that will sustain intra-abdominal pressure. So in simple words, exhale all the way out, inhale, And exhale all the way out. Through the straw. All the way until you feel your core engage. Amazing. With slightly toe flexed. From here, without letting go this engagement, inhale through the nose, as back, as down, as deep, as controlled as you possibly can. And exhale through the nose, again through the straw, until you feel you reach the end of exhale and you get this intuitive contraction of your core around your body. Maintain this core, maintain this contraction, and again, inhale without letting go. Back and down. Now, continue breathing, continue trying, and you might say, but wait, Daniel, when I try to inhale as deep as I can with this contracted core, I cannot inhale back and down. I'm inhaling like very superficial because my core is too tight. And that's why I called it synergy. Our active core can be active way when it's shortened down, and it also can be active long, like big active. Yeah, so be inflated like a balloon, but like an active balloon, our internal core. So the idea is to exhale, create this tension. Inhale, maintain the tension without letting go. And then exhale back down. All right? So again, I am exhaling, creating this core, and then inhaling back and down with the core. So the core is actually engaging, elongating, getting wider and bigger, but not falling down. So my core is engaged. I am inhaling with the core, but not letting go. And that's why I don't want you to inhale and inflate and push your belly out. I don't want that, because when you do that, you're not engaged. The only time that I will encourage you to inflate your belly when you inhale is when you want to completely relax and maybe go to sleep or something, or meditate. And even so, if you're meditating seated, you have to learn to engage the core because you have to maintain your upright position. So only when you're laying down and you want to be fully off, fully passive, then inflate your core, inflate your belly. But if this is not the case, your intra-abdominal pressure must be engaged, and it cannot be engaged when your transversus abdominis is unengaged. Therefore, it happens when we are inflating our belly out. All right? So maintain your core, inflate it, and then exhale and contract it again as possible. Avoid inhaling and letting go. And this is your practice, to cultivate them together in a synergistic, there's a word like this, in a synergistic breath, in a synergy of breathing. Exhale, contract the core intuitively. Do not try to consciously contract the core. Let the breath contract the core for you, and you only sustain it while you inhale again. And exhale again. Let's talk about the levels of this practice. The most simple level, you lay on the ground, on the back, knee folded, something between the knees, back on the ground, head resting, and you have the most easy position, the most easy way to practice this breathing. Next phase will be seated down. Yeah, practice while you sit. So you have to maintain some sort of tension in order to maintain yourself in an upright position from the ground, from the feet, from the hips, from the pelvis, through the spine while you breathe. The next phase will be standing or walking. I would suggest walking. And again, you do the same. You exhale all the way you maintain the core compression that happened, and you sustain it when you inhale again, as deep, as back, as down as possible, while maintaining your core compression. The next phase will be to cultivate that in static positions like a plank or a hollow position for the core. Yeah. So side note, there is, in my view, there is no core exercise which is a core exercise where you're not breathing in that pattern. That means if you doing plank or a hollow position and you're not breathing in that way, this is not a plank, and this is not a hollow, and this is not a core engagement. This is a weird compensation on an ego of how much time I can do competition. But if you really want to engage and strengthen your core, your real core, which is the intra-abdominal pressure, you have to breathe in that pattern and then put that pattern in a harder and harder position. So the most simple is laying down, sitting, walking, plank exercises, and eventually squats, deadlifts, push-ups, pull-ups, running, and sports. All right? So we have to build this progression, we have to build these abilities, and we have to eventually practice this so much so the intuitive way of our nervous system to engage the breath will be this kind of breathing. And I know it's possible from first experience, and also I have many clients that have learned this and it's completely transformed their lives. So the idea is to practice it as daily as possible. It doesn't have to be long, it could be 1 minute. You don't even have to do it while you sit down in this comfortable position and meditate the breath. This will be the optimal because you're very concentrated. But if you're just walking home from work or from friends and you have 5 minutes of walking, don't be on the phone. Breathe this kind of breath, and this breath will sustain your posture. It will sustain your position. It will always be with you. So inhale as deep, as back, as down as possible with time, more and more and more. Exhale all the way until you feel your core engage. Cultivate them and try to sustain a synergy between opposite, starting with your breath.